Kia ora koutou, and welcome to the short review of Alice is Missing. Now, Alice is Missing is a very different game to what we normally cover. It's not a board game at all. It's a role-playing game, but even then, it's a very unusual role-playing game. What sets Alice is Missing apart is it's designed to be a one-shot. You inhabit these characters for one session and one session only, and then it's done. Each of you will inhabit a character for a limited amount of time. And at the start of the game, you'll generate those characters. You'll also generate who Alice is. And the game will start and it'll be played with a timer. And the catch is, it's all played in silence. This is a game you play via a messenger app or text messages on your phone. You can be in the same room. In fact, when we played it, we were in the same room. But all communication is done through a phone app. It's all done not in silence, but with a soundtrack going on in the background. As the timer ticks down, you'll be given different prompts. Sort of improvisational things. You saw someone talking about it suspiciously last week. What did they say? And you introduce that information into the group, and then you collaboratively roleplay with it. It's very odd. It is very much unlike any other game I've played. You'll have these prompt cards on the table, which will describe the town that you're in. There's 5 locations and 5 people who've been acting weird. And through all these tools, you'll collaboratively tell a story via your phone app about what happened to Alice. This is a very unusual game and not one I'd recommend to many groups. I feel you need a lot of role-playing experience, a lot of improvisational experience, and sort of the comfort to be able to sit in the dark, basically, for an hour, texting people, creating a story about a potentially triggering and traumatic event. Something's happened to Alice, and Alice is one of your friends, and that could bring up all kinds of awful memories and experiences for people. What's good about Alice is Missing is that it is a work of art. It brings an unusual and unique approach to a role-playing game, and it puts you in an interesting and unsettling predicament. It also creates an unusual game environment. For all those novelty reasons, I find Alice is Missing quite compelling, but it's also a very distinct set of fun. One of my players said, sitting in the dark texting each other is the antithesis of why he goes to game night. And I totally get where he's coming from. It's a strange experience to go, okay, everyone, let's get together and sit in silence for an hour and a bit. But at other times during the night, I got really drawn into the story about what had happened to Alice, what we were doing to try and find her, the people who'd been acting strange about her, all the little story hooks people were throwing out. If you have friends that like telling stories, that like improvisation, and who want to do a one-off free-flowing role-playing game that doesn't have dice, doesn't have combat, doesn't have any kind of resolutions, you just tell a story, you could have a good time with Alice is Missing. But I feel it's the kind of thing you play once and maybe twice. I don't think it's a game you go back to and do like, hey, let's do a regular Alice is Missing session every week for the rest of the year. But it is an interesting game and experience. I'm glad I played it. I just know I'll never play it again.